Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so I've got about 15 minutes to run through what I found on the sensors here. We deployed 24 sensors all across the building here. And last year, I did this over at the Regency, and like Stephanie said, this building isn't quite as exciting as the Regency, so I really had to dig deep. Last year, I was cutting and pasting Excel slides or Excel graphs and screenshots to make some cobbled together presentation. And about 81 days ago, I started vibe coding on Claude Code. So you're gonna see what Claude did here instead of just me doing this. So, you know, you saw Nick's presentation, Stephanie's presentation. You know, the old school way is you show a graph, right, here's CO2 over time. So I'm gonna try and up the bar here a little bit and show you what Claude can do. At the end of the presentation, I'm gonna flash up a QR code, just like I did last year. If you take a picture of that, it sends me an email. I'll send you a free IAQ sensor. And if you want any Claude Code training, just put that in the email too. I'll be happy to do it. I've trained about 50 people, even my dad who's 84. And the first thing he did was like a mortgage calculator, show me how much money I'm spending on my interest for my mortgage on my house, you know, tell me to pay off the house. So if anyone's interested in that, just, you know, put that in the note at the end. All right, so let's jump in here. And I don't know if you remember what last year looked like, but hopefully this year will be a big improvement. All right, so we measured for 5 IAQ variables: CO2, temperature, relative humidity, PM 2.5, and VOCs. In this room is really well done. And we measured anywhere from 1.5 feet off the floor to 27 feet up back there. And really, I wanted to find out about stratification, right? Because I thought stratification was something that would interest people. I also wanted to find out what the air exchange was. And I told, you know, I'm having this fight. I don't know how many of you guys are doing this coding now, but I'm having this fight between Opus and Fable. In the Claude world, it's two different AI programs, I guess. Opus tried this and failed horribly after 12 hours, and Fable had to come in and save the day. So this is all Fable's work, by the way. I'll explain that to you later if anyone's interested. So what we found out here, and this is all inferred from these sensors, right? So it's amazing. It's just not graphs anymore. It can figure out infiltration rates. It can figure out what's going on with dew point. It can figure out effective air change per hour. So this is what we found out. In this room, we're getting about 14 to 27 CFM per person in this room. Kind of lines up with what Nick was saying. 3.3 air change per hour, and we were averaging 2.6 to 5 times the ASHRAE minimum. On Monday, when it was raining outside, you can see it was 121 grains outdoors. It went down to 71, and I got dew point on the right-hand side. You can see the conditions were maintained very well here. That's the blue line on the bottom in the sanctuary. The breakout rooms were a little bit more of a disaster, and they stayed a disaster throughout the week. When we look about what happened in the sanctuary here and in the entry, we had no time over 60-degree dew points the past 2 days. But you can see in the youth loft and in those rooms down there, we had a lot of time over 60-degree dew point. So I've shared that with the people here at the orchard. They're very receptive to it, and we're going to look at finding out what's going on there. I did think it was interesting that the kitchen was only 2%, right? So they had a lot of good exhaust going on there, I'm guessing. For fun, usually I measure bathrooms at every conference I'm at, and it's kind of boring because bathrooms usually have great ventilation, and there's nothing going on here. But these bathrooms are a little bit different. So I decided to, I said, hey, Claude, I think people are going to really like this one. So let's set it up as like a men versus women's challenge. So we set that up, and the men actually won every measurement here for worse air quality. CO2 was higher, the CO2 peak was higher, and the biggest PM spike was also higher. And interestingly, Claude said, hey, I think they're going to like this. The biggest PM spike was 1:06 p.m. Monday, right after lunch in the men's bathroom. So you can deduce what's going on there as far as, you know, how that happens. But the men swept at 3-0. You could argue that there's more men here too, so it might not be fair, but, you know, my wife would argue that it's men. Okay. We also measured PM, so this is effectively measuring what's going on outside. And then how much filtration is going on inside. In the sanctuary here, we only had 35% of the PM load that was outside, so great filtration. MERV 13 on the outside, on the makeup air units, so the outside air units here. Only MERV 8 on the rest of the building. You can see that the breakout rooms and entry rooms had 87 and 67% of what the pollution was outside. The bathrooms and the kitchen were the worst. And my guess is this is heavy exhaust ventilation here in the bathroom and kitchens with uncontrolled air coming in, replacing it that hasn't been filtered. That will probably, I see Joe was nodding his head at that, so that's gonna be rule 29. I teach Claude when this is over. Joe said that's the right interpretation, so going forward, it'll know that. Thank you, Joe. You can see the old days of making a little graph and showing with CO2. I said, hey, Claude, look, I'm gonna be in front of a couple hundred people. These are very important people. You gotta make this look good. You know, and Opus totally screwed it up, so Fable came in and made it good for me. So this is a graphical representation of what's going on here, and I wanted to talk about CO2 or stratification and all these different variables. So CO2 is really the only one of the IQ variables that we saw really any type of stratification, and it was 162 ppm higher up at the ridge than down here at the stage floor. And this is all the places we were measuring. I thought that was interesting. What we looked at temperature, it was only a 2.9 degree stratification, and I really think these fans were doing a great job, these D-strat fans. The guys who work with the orchard came and thought it could have actually been better, but they turned them down because Betsy said it was like making the screens here vibrate with the airflow. So they would argue it could even be better than this, but this is still pretty good. 2.9 degrees spread over 22.5 feet. I've seen much wider spread than that in other places. The dew points, so I don't know if Andy's still here, but Andy loves measuring dew point stratification. So I try to get as high up there in the ridge as possible. And the dew point there, it did increase 1.7 degrees from down here at the floor all the way up high. And particulate, interestingly, good mixing here. We saw no stratification here in the particulate matter throughout the whole space. It stayed pretty much the same. So the scoreboard really, I kind of just mentioned this, it was really just the CO2 we saw stratified, the temperature, dew point, and PM really weren't. And then next coming up is the money shot. So I told Claude, Fable specifically, look, we really need to get to next level visualization here. And with your IAQ sensors, if you actually plug them in and set them up, we can look at the data and do these types of things and these types of diagnoses for you. But this is hot off the charts. This is like cutting edge for Claude here. So here we are looking at CO2 levels over time and showing you at the different levels where it's changing, right? So instead of having a graph that just says, hey, we get high during the meetings and go low during lunch, it's showing you the over the baseline levels throughout the day, right? So this is a work in process. If anyone has any other good ideas on how to visualize this, but we're trying to get this in an exciting way that really conveys what's going on, and that's what it looks like. Last year also we had an award for the speaker who had the highest CO2 level, right? So the highest CO2 level measured meant the crowd was more engaged, heart rates were up, people weren't sleeping, people were in attendance. This year the award winner is Dr. John Straub. He won, he actually had the highest CO2 levels. So, second annual winner of that award, right? So Eva last year won it, so he won it this year. And really, Stephanie, your graph showed that too, so I was hoping no one was looking at it, but you know, he was definitely the peak that morning. And just to wrap it up here, here's the free sensor. If you take a picture of the QR code, it'll send me an email. I just say, hey, give me your shipping address, and I'll send you a free sensor, no strings attached. If you're interested in learning about Claude or any type of coding, I'll help you out with that too. And I believe that's it, Betsy, for me to wrap it up. So thank you.